In this video, we're going to take a look at how to use Interride or e-instruction workspace with your Mobi pad or tablet that you have in your classroom, or if you happen to have one of the wall-mounted boards. The first thing you should do is look to make sure that your workspace software is on your desktop and installed as it should be. It's the purple W and the green S. The second thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that your Mobi pad is plugged in, charged, and connected appropriately. You always want to make sure that your Mobi pad is plugged into an electrical outlet and not your computer. There should be some type of USB cord coming from either the charging dock or the Mobi itself, and that it should be plugged into one of the adapters similar to your cell phone that allows you to plug that into your wall. That way you're always getting the best charging scenario. The other thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that the USB connector that helps your Mobi to communicate with your computer is plugged into a USB extension cord and placed somewhere higher above your computer if possible. That will allow it to act as an antenna and give you better reception and mobility around your classroom so that you have a stronger signal wherever you are. You also want to make sure that when you turn your Mobi on, if it's a newer Mobi, it should automatically connect. If it is an older Mobi, if there is a small blue button on that USB receiver, you'll want to press that, and then also the small blue button that's on the bottom of the Mobi pad itself, and that will allow those two to connect. Once you have done that, you're ready to open up your workspace software. If you're met with this image here that wants you to put in an authorization code, you'll probably want to just go ahead and submit a sysaid for that. We have some different things going on here. First of all, I guess, look on your Mobi box if you have it, and if there is a code on your Mobi box, you can use that code there. If you do not have a Mobi code box, it's probably the default code, which you are free to use if you want. It is ANDPHRSK51. No, that's not something we probably need to share with anybody outside of our school district. And again, you do want to be using the one that's assigned to you if you have that. I know that Olive Rinkin should not use this code. They have their own code that's been assigned to them. ECHS, I don't believe anyone has had a specific code assigned to them, so they'll use this code. If you're unsure or have questions, again, just submit a sysaid and your tech will take care of that. I'm going to click OK. I don't have the best eyes in the world, so the first adjustment that I'm going to make here is I'm going to make my toolbar just a little bit bigger. Not by using the minimize and restore, but I'm going to click the little down arrow just below it. Told you I had bad eyes. And I'm going to go to Preferences. And I'm going to go to Toolbar Settings, and I'm going to change it from 22 by 22 to 40 by 40. This will make it easier for me as a teacher to be able to walk around the classroom and see the toolbar just a little bit easier. I'm also going to move it out from the edge a little bit and down a little bit. And what that's going to do is if I open up a web page, I'm still going to be able to see those buttons that are in the top right hand corner and the scroll bars that go down the left hand side. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to build my gallery. And I'm going to click on this little gallery button here. It looks like a photo album with a couple of photos there. And it's going to start that loading process. And it's going to say, hey, guess what? There's no local database available. Do you want to build that database? And I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to choose this first option here that pops up, and I'm going to click Build. And what you should see is that it says it's adding 4,198 items to your gallery. And what that does is it opens up a lot of different little clip art pictures that you can use in Interact or in Workspace. So if you are a math teacher, it will allow you to pull in grid paper and the Cartesian coordinate system. If you are, teaching about money and money in foreign denominations, then you can pull in picture representations of that money. It has, dollar bills and coins of all kinds, and just allows you to do lots of fun things. It also has different interactive games that you can use. One of my favorites is in the science category, where it has the volcano, and it has where you can label different parts of the volcano by clicking and dragging the names of the parts of the volcano and to be able to label those. But this does take just a few seconds to install, and it'll get down to 0, and it will sit there for just a few seconds, but then it will build your gallery. When the gallery loads, it is split up by subject matter, so you can kind of gauge which ones that you think are the most important to you. If I go to science and I go to geology, maybe I'll be able to find that different thing, that volcano that I was telling you about. There's one on Earth's core, which is good. Let's see here. Plate tectonics is good. Probably not going to find my volcano here. But if I can't find what I'm looking for and I know that it's there, I can always come up to the search bar, if I can spell, and search for volcano. And there it is. So now what I can do is I can make maybe a new page, and then I can just click and drag my volcano over here, and now I can see if I can label the different parts of the volcano. Obviously that wasn't right because it went right back where it was supposed to. Maybe, obviously I don't know the parts of the volcano as well as I should, but you get kind of the idea of how that it should work, at least. So that is your gallery, and I think most folks will find that helpful if you want to load your gallery. I'm not going to go through a complete tutorial on how to use Workspace at this time, but be aware that there are some preferences here. You can come in and you can adjust your new page setup. Right now the new page is set up to be a white page. However, if you wanted to do a different background color, you can set that. There's a button for a grid page on your toolbar. If you choose that, this is what it currently looks like. However, if you wanted to change that to be more of a grid type paper and have a different background color and a different line color, you can do that as well. Probably won't do anything with transparency and language. Toolbar settings we've already changed. However, you can customize your toolbar, and these are all of the tools that you have available to you. These are currently the tools that are in my main toolbar here. If I wanted to change some of those, like I know I will never use some of these, we will never use this response functions button. I can get rid of that, and maybe I'm a math teacher, so I really want this equation pen tool. Once I do that and make some changes, and I click Save Scheme, it's going to say new name, and I'm going to say Justin's special toolbar. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Click OK, and that will update my toolbar here once I go out and come back in. Gradient page setup, you probably don't need to worry about that. In tablet, you don't need to worry about. But that's a few things that you can do in order to make Workspace work a little bit better for you, and how to set up your Mobi with Workspace. Hopefully this has been helpful.